Alrighty, so we are doing a real quick afternoon edition, kind of just a little pop up to address some of the comments. I'm not going to name names or anything, but just some of the, I don't know if frustration is the word to use or just straight up anger. The fact that we are doing an Aaron Rodgers themed episode tonight. And we're just kind of addressing why we're doing an Aaron Rodgers discussion, why we're doing it now. And we have some reasons that we want to throw out there for why we're doing it. And Simon and Jake each have some thoughts. I have some thoughts on why we're doing it now, and what is going to be the, I don't want to say aftermath, but like what's going to be the lasting effects of doing this Aaron Rodgers episode tonight. So Simon, I know when I reached out to you, you had a couple of reasons for why you think we're doing this episode. So I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, so I mean, like Tyler said, we kind of had this planned already, and all this stuff that just came out with Rodgers doing the interview with Matt Schneidman from The Athletic, and all this stuff came out and blah blah. I don't really care about all that stuff. I didn't even read it, to be honest with you. It's not really my forte. You might have a cat up here in a second. Sorry, go away. Um,
Simon's talking to his imaginary cat.
Yeah. So two things that like first and foremost came to my mind is we're probably never going to know the full story anytime soon, or if ever, of what the actual interactions between the front office of the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. That's probably just never going to come out in one go until maybe way down the road. So I would hold off on coming up with any sort of opinions because you don't know the full story either.
Judgment.
Yeah, judgment. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. And secondly, I guess just to cap it off really quick, why does it really matter? Regardless of who was in the right, who was in the wrong, or maybe it was a miscommunication issue, whatever. Like Aaron Rodgers is still one of the best players in franchise history, whether you like it or not. And for us to kind of just go down memory road and talk about some of the best times that we had as fans and maybe trigger some of those, memories for people that listen to us, why not? Even if we all have our list that we put together, and I'm sure though a lot of them will be somewhat similar. But even if we didn't think of one, or there are times or passes, like that's going to trigger a happy memory for myself. Like I had fun watching those games or going to those games or cheering on the Packers as a fan. Like, I mean, why not talk about Aaron Rodgers? So that basically sums up just my quick thoughts.
All right.
So
I'm ready.
my two big things were, one, as Simon mentioned, we've had this planned for a long time. Like we've basically had this show planned for today, basically since the draft. Basically since we found out that it was official that he was traded. We put this on our timeline for shows. We did the draft, we did the draft recap, and now we're doing Aaron Rodgers. We're going in the timeline of the way the things happened as they fit into our schedules, which kind of ties into another comment. Like we have full-time jobs, all of us. Simon and Bryant are part of the military. Jake and I have full-time jobs
And families.
and families. Yeah. So we fit these things into our schedule the best that we can. And I promise you, we would love to be putting out tons and tons of content, and we have ideas for tons of content. But the fact of the matter is that none of us are working on this show full time yet. So basically the two things that I wanted to say are, tonight we're not talking about anything from the Matt Schneidman article. That happened to just come out the day before or 2 days before we had this episode planned, a month and a half, almost 2 months ago. That's purely coincidence. And if it affects your opinion of Aaron Rodgers, who cares? Tonight, basically what we're doing is strictly Aaron Rodgers on field. That's it. We're not talking about him off the field. We're not talking about Gutekunst. We're not talking about Jordan Love. We're not talking about the Jets. We're not talking about any of that. We are talking only about Aaron Rodgers when he's wearing number 12 for the Packers. That is it. And the second thing is tonight is we're closing the book. After tonight, we are not talking about Aaron Rodgers anymore. We're not going to compare Jordan Love to Aaron Rodgers all season. We're not going to compare Aaron Rodgers' rookie season to Jordan Love's rookie season, or first season as a starter, I should say. We're not going to do that. So people were saying we should be optimistic for what the future holds. I promise you the four of us are probably more optimistic than most media outlets you're going to find out there as far as Jordan Love is concerned.
Yep.
I promise you that. In addition to us focusing our analysis from an optimistic viewpoint anyways. But this is the end of an era, if you want to call it that. It's the end of this chapter. We are closing the book on Aaron Rodgers today. Like I said, we're not talking about him after today. Unless it's, 5 years from now when he signs a one-day contract to retire as a Green Bay Packer. So, Jake, is there anything you wanted to add?
Okay. So I was thinking on the way home what I wanted to say, because Tyler and I were like, yo, let's do a little quick live, give some people some perspective, right?
Right.
I feel like we should be called Wisco Perspective at this point.
We could change the name of the blog.
So first of all, Tyler and I have talked before about, we just talked this previous Packer season about enjoying the ride, even though we didn't make the playoffs, right? We enjoyed all those plays leading up to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't go back, even though, not every, marriage is meant to last forever, right? And the Rodgers and Packers one lasted for 18 years. That's a long time. And it had an ugly ending. It is what it is. We had an ugly ending with Favre too, and then we went right to Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
We moved on. You can move on from this too. So the point I'm trying to make is we're going to talk about the good moments we had. And don't tell me, I dare somebody to tell me right now that you weren't on the internet arguing that Rodgers is better than Brady. If you tell me that you weren't, I'm not going to believe you for one. But you can't tell me that you weren't one of those millions of Packers fans that were arguing that, if Rodgers was in Brady's situation, we'd have so many Super Bowls. I guarantee you said that at least 20 times in your life. Every single Packers fan. I promise you that. So tonight, we're going to celebrate the good plays for the Green Bay Packers, and he was our leader for 18 years. So let's just take a deep breath. Let's calm down. It's really shitty circumstance what happened to us, really. But like Tyler said, we had this planned out for a while. We all sat down one day. We were like, let's do this day. Let's do this day. And we were planning everything out. So, again, I have a 2-year-old daughter. Tyler has 2 daughters. Simon was literally in the middle of moving across the country.
More like halfway across the friggin' continent.
Yeah, I mean, and Bryant is busy doing stuff, moving.
Bryant is
right
moving
now
as
well. So I mean, not to dig too deep in anybody's personal lives, but we have shit going on outside of this. So we're doing this because we love it. We love the Packers. For Tyler and I specifically, we love the Brewers, we love the Bucks, we love the Badgers. So we're planning content to give you guys some good stuff and talk about the sports that you want to talk about. So when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, again, don't tell me that you didn't love him. Don't tell me that you didn't call him your GOAT. I don't want to hear that, okay? And secondly, we're having fun, okay? So come have some fun with us. Life is too damn short, okay? So just come have some fun with us, laugh with us. If there's a play that you forgot, come tell it to us because we don't remember everything.
Yeah.
We're not the smartest people in the world. So I feel like I have a very good list, and I'm excited about it, but we'll see.
I think I have some good ones too.
I'll give you a spoiler alert. I don't have the Super Bowl in my top 5.
I don't have Super Bowl either, and I cheated on one of them.
Okay, that makes me feel bad. I have the Super Bowl.
That's totally fine. We could all have different memories of different things.
So I also kind of cheated because I have 4 honorable mentions.
I wrote down a bunch of honorable mentions. I have 5 honorable mentions written down. But like Jake said, the moments that Aaron Rodgers made on the field were to benefit the Green Bay Packers. Nobody's out there cheering for 52 out of 53 guys on the active roster. So tonight, you can watch our show even if you don't like Aaron Rodgers, because all of the moments that we are going to share tonight benefited the team.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, after tonight, our focus is going to be strictly on the future. And we're not talking about Aaron Rodgers anymore, unless he ends up back in Green Bay, like I said, to retire. But we've said this multiple times, we've had this planned for a while, and tonight we're closing the book. So I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to say. Otherwise, tonight we're just gonna have some fun reliving some old Aaron Rodgers moments that made us happy and remembering them. That's it.
I don't know how just because of a couple of words, man, like you're going to sit there and tell me that you never got into an argument with somebody. And like the one that really gets me, real quick, he goes, I only talk to people I like. Newsflash, me too. I don't go out of my way at work and talk to people I don't like. You think I'm trying to ruin my day on purpose? Like, come on. Get it together. You think like this is the same argument we keep having when people like comparing themselves to sports stars, like, oh, they make so much money. Like, we're not doing this again, dude.
The other thing is even if the newest report made you think differently of him, you can't tell me that some of the runs that the Packers went on weren't enjoyable just because you don't like the way that the trade situation was handled.
Yeah.
Like that's not the case. And that's why, like I said, we're being super intentional to be talking about stuff on the field moments with him.
And then the other thing is everybody was just dogging the Packers front office because of the interview that Tay had talking about they lowballed them. And then immediately when this comes out, now they're all on the side of the front office and they're all against the player. It's like, can you pick a side? Pick a side, please.
Also, what front office doesn't lowball a player?
Yeah, seriously.
They try to get the best.
They're not going to be
value.
Like, here's all of the money.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
They got to field 53 players.
Yep. Okay, so we'll be back tonight, like 7 hours from now, a little less, and we're gonna have some fun, just reliving some old Packer games that happened to all be in within the last 18 years. So, and that's the thing, Isaac. If media sways people's opinions, you can still come and enjoy the show because these are all things that happened and benefited our team. And going forward, we're not going to talk about them anymore. I mean, we'll talk, we're still going to remember it, but we're not having another Aaron Rodgers episode after today.
No.
We're not talking about him in the Jets. We're not talking about him in Gutekunst. We're not talking about anything off the field. That's it.
And the only thing we care about is the number 65. 65% of snaps, give us that first round pick. We're not going to talk about it, but we're going to be watching it, right?
We'll probably mention it when he hits that 65%.
Yeah,
probably.
But that's going to be probably next offseason. So
he did bring up a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, tune back in with us tonight. We're just going to have some fun talking about some moments, and then we're closing the book. So that's what we're doing tonight. See you guys later.